We have Caitlin Clark making her USA Senior Camp debut. Caitlin Clark basketball slowly yet surely is creeping up on us. Can't wait to see what she's got up.
Aya Wilson just got hit with the news, and this decision is absolutely, without a doubt, going to haunt Aya Wilson for years to come. So get this picture. Caitlin Clark has just received a golden ticket, a truly coveted invitation to Team USA's critical December training camp. And you have to understand, this isn't just any old camp. This is the one that literally decides who gets the incredible honor of wearing the red, white, and blue on the biggest stages imaginable. We're talking about the World Cup and the Olympic rosters here, and where is Aya Wilson during all of this? She's sitting at home, watching it all unfold from the sidelines. After months and months of throwing shade at Clark, making those subtle digs and not-so-subtle complaints, you could say that karma has just rolled up to her front door and delivered the ultimate, ice-cold reality check. Before we dive into what is shaping up to be an absolute disaster for Wilson's career narrative, I need you to drop your most honest opinion down in the comments below. Do you genuinely think Aya Wilson is jealous of Caitlin Clark, or is she just a fierce, misunderstood competitor? Because I promise you, what I'm about to lay out for you might just change your mind completely.
I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout, I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention to it. My goal is just to go out there and be the best that I can be for my teammates, both on and off the court, and we're going to go out there.
All right, so let me break down for you exactly what just happened, because honestly, the irony here is so incredibly thick you could cut it with a knife. Team USA, with the undisputed legend Sue Bird at the helm as the managing director, has just officially announced their roster for the upcoming December training camp, which is all going down at Duke University. Now, let's be crystal clear about this. This is not some casual get-together. This isn't a situation where players just show up, shoot around for a couple of days, and then head home. No, this camp determines literally everything. It answers the biggest questions in the entire sport. Who is going to make the 2026 World Cup team? Who will get the once-in-a-lifetime honor of being selected for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles? This is the place where legacies are forged, where entire careers are defined, and where the next generation of American basketball stars is officially born. And guess who got that golden invitation, that undeniable, powerful nod of approval? You already know the answer, Caitlin Clark. And guess whose name was conspicuously, glaringly left off that list? Aya Wilson.
Caitlin Clark. There's no... I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her. This has nothing to do... We're just doing our job. We're going to show up. Who is ever on the other team is on the other team. We don't really care. We're going to show up and do us. And so I think this narrative of like... Everybody hating on Caitlin Clark, and even the black and white thing, knock it off. It's not there. It's not there. So shut down the noise. And by the way, what is she, 22? She's a 22-year-old woman with a lot of pressure.
She's not perfect.
She's not perfect. She's a...
Just let that sink in for a moment. I mean, really think about what that means. The very same Aya Wilson who, according to many fans online, has spent the better part of the last year taking shots at Caitlin Clark, whether through petty social media energy or constant comparisons, has now been left off the single most important roster in all of women's basketball. It's a stunning public blow to the narrative she's been trying to push. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is lacing up her sneakers, preparing to walk into that camp and cement her status as the undeniable face of Team USA for the next decade. You honestly couldn't write a better script for poetic justice. To many people, this feels like the ultimate affirmation of how off-base some of the criticism directed at Clark has been. It comes across as a direct, unavoidable consequence of the exaggeration, the noise, and, frankly, the chaos that's surrounded this entire situation.
Women. But
So, let's talk about who is being handed the keys to the kingdom right alongside Caitlin Clark, because this roster reads like a who's who of the absolute future of women's basketball. You've got Caitlin Clark, of course. You've got Paige Bueckers, who is making her highly anticipated senior national team debut. You've got Juju Watkins, another rising superstar who is clearly destined for greatness. They've even brought in Angel Reese, because apparently Team USA wants to keep that electrifying Clark-Reese rivalry going, but this time on the international stage. Add to that the incredible talents of Cameron Brink and Aaliyah Boston, plus the veteran leadership of Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young holding it all down. What you're looking at right here is Team USA's literal blueprint for the next era of global dominance in women's basketball. And Aya Wilson, according to many fans online, is nowhere to be found on it. Now, before Wilson's defenders rush into the comments, let's be perfectly clear about what this decision actually means. This is not about dismissing Aya Wilson's talent as a basketball player. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is denying that she has been an elite force in the WNBA. She's a multiple-time MVP, she's won championships, and she has dominated the league for years. But here's the critical point that some people seem to miss. Being good at basketball isn't the only requirement for Team USA anymore. They need players who can represent American basketball on the world stage. Players who can captivate and attract massive global audiences. Players who can elevate the entire program to new heights. And right now, in this moment, Caitlin Clark does all of those things better than anyone else in the sport. And yes, that includes Aya Wilson. Sue Bird didn't just flip a coin to make this decision. She is one of the greatest players in the history of the game and arguably possesses one of the sharpest basketball minds today. She knows exactly what it takes to win internationally. She knows what kind of players thrive in FIBA competition. And she knows what Team USA needs to not only maintain dominance, but also grow the global appeal of women's basketball.So. When Sue Bird looks at Caitlin Clark, she sees the total package. And when she looks at the current narrative surrounding Wilson, she apparently sees something that doesn't align with the vision they're building. And let's talk about that vision, because it's crucial for understanding why Clark got the invite and Wilson didn't. Team USA isn't just trying to win gold medals anymore. Their mission is so much bigger. They are actively trying to grow the sport on a global scale. They're trying to attract millions of new fans. They're trying to maximize commercial appeal and use their platform to elevate women's basketball worldwide. Caitlin Clark brings all of that to the table organically. Her games break viewership records. Her jersey sales dwarf everyone else's numbers. Her social media engagement surpasses the entire league. Global corporations line up to partner with her. An entire generation of kids wants to pick up a basketball because of her. That is the kind of seismic impact Team USA wants at the very center of their program moving forward.
She's pretty incredible. I mean, you watch her and it's unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Like, she's just that dominant, whether it's her mid-range game, she can put it on the floor, she's just so athletic. But also she affects the game on both ends. Like, she's a really good defensive player, great rim protector, just so athletic. And obviously she's been able to shoot the three pretty well this year too. So it's fun to watch. Like I said, like, everybody in the league knows you can't guard it. You basically just live with what she's going to do to you every single night. It's just you contain it as best you can, and she's going to make some shots that are really tough. And like I said, like it's going to be a tall task. It's going to take multiple people. You just hope to contain it.
Now, to fully grasp the incredible weight of this decision, let's just rewind the tape for a second and talk about how we even got to this point. Because, honestly, Aya Wilson's reaction to Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise has been one long, cringeworthy display of jealousy and deep-seated insecurity. It really kicked off with that Nike deal. Remember that when Clark signed her massive, historic endorsement contract with Nike, one of the biggest deals ever seen in women's sports, Wilson just couldn't stand by and let Clark have her moment. Oh no. Instead, Wilson had to launch her bizarre "I Have a Shoe Too" campaign, posting pictures of her own Nike sneakers all over social media. It came across like a child desperately demanding attention at someone else's birthday party. The desperation was just palpable. Instead of celebrating a monumental win for all of women's basketball and recognizing that a deal like Clark's lifts all boats for female athletes, Wilson chose to make it about herself, and she just looked petty in the process. Then, of course, came the cryptic social media posts. The phrase, "What is delayed is not denied," basically became Wilson's personal mantra, posted over and over again as Clark's star just kept ascending to new heights. The implication was crystal clear. Wilson truly believed she deserved the exact same level of recognition and commercial success as Clark, and she was just biding her time, waiting for her moment to arrive. The only problem? That moment never came, because while Wilson was busy posting inspirational quotes about patience, Clark was out there actually earning her success through jaw-dropping performance, a magnetic personality, and an unprecedented impact on the sport. The Time Athlete of the Year award, though, seems to be what really broke Wilson. When Caitlin Clark became the first women's basketball player in history to win this prestigious honor, Wilson's social media activity went into complete overdrive. She started liking posts from random accounts that questioned whether Clark even deserved the award. She shared content that suggested other athletes were more worthy. The level of salt was so high it would make the Dead Sea jealous. Instead of seeing this as a colossal moment for women's basketball, one of their own getting massive mainstream recognition, Wilson chose to be bitter about someone else's incredible achievement. And it didn't stop there. Wilson then tried to claim that she makes the same speaking fees as Clark. Let's just pause for a second and appreciate how completely delusional that statement is. Caitlin Clark is, without question, the most sought-after athlete in women's sports right now. Companies are practically throwing money at her just to show up at their events for a few hours. She can command fees that no other female athlete, with the possible exception of Serena Williams, has ever been able to demand. And Wilson wants us all to believe she's playing in the same financial stratosphere? The claim was so utterly ridiculous that it almost made you feel sorry for her because it revealed just how profoundly insecure she is about Clark's commercial dominance. Literally, every single milestone Clark achieved triggered another Wilson meltdown. Clark breaks a rookie record. Wilson posts about veteran experience and paying dues. Clark leads her team to the playoffs. Wilson talks about championship pedigree. Clark gets featured in mainstream media. Wilson starts complaining about media bias. The pattern was both exhausting and completely transparent. Wilson simply could not let Clark enjoy a single moment of success without trying to either diminish it or desperately redirect the attention back to herself, and so now, here we are. This camp invitation is the ultimate validation of everything Clark has accomplished, and simultaneously, the ultimate rejection of Wilson's entire approach. Team USA looked at these two phenomenal players. They evaluated their skills, their leadership qualities, their marketability, and their overall fit with the program's future, and they chose Clark. And they didn't just choose Clark, they actively left Wilson at home. That's not a passive decision. That is an active statement about where Team USA sees the future of women's basketball heading. The coaching staff for this camp includes WNBA head coaches like Cheryl Reeve, Cara Lawson, and Stephanie White. These are not people who make emotional, knee-jerk decisions. They are professional basketball minds who evaluate talent with cold, hard objectivity. They've watched both Clark and Wilson play at the absolute highest level. They've seen how Clark elevates every single one of her teammates, how she performs under immense pressure, how she handles her media responsibilities with grace, and how she represents the sport as a whole. And they've apparently seen everything Wilson has been doing and decided it's just not what they need for the program. Right now, Clark's own teammate, Aaliyah Boston, will be at this camp too, which creates a fascinating dynamic. Clark and Boston developed incredible chemistry during their rookie season together with the Indiana Fever. Boston's dominant defensive presence and interior scoring are the perfect complement to Clark's perimeter brilliance. You can bet the Team USA coaches are going to be watching that partnership very, very closely, because if that chemistry translates to international competition the same way it worked in the WNBA, those two could be the bedrock of Team USA's lineup for years to come. Meanwhile, Aya Wilson is at home, watching her former teammate prepare to build international chemistry with someone else. The sheer volume of young talent at this camp is extraordinary. You have Paige Bueckers, who is one of the most skilled players to come out of college basketball in a decade. You have Juga Watkins, who is already drawing comparisons to the sport's all-time greats. These players represent the next wave, the next generation of American basketball excellence, and they are all coming into this camp as Caitlin Clark's peers and potential teammates, not as Aya Wilson. That fundamental shift in generational focus has to sting for Wilson, who probably envisioned herself as the veteran leader who would guide these young stars. Instead, Caitlin Clark gets that role. What's truly fascinating is how diametrically opposed Clark and Wilson are in their approach to success and recognition. Clark constantly deflects praise to her teammates. She always talks about team accomplishments rather than her individual awards. Her social media content is focused on celebrating others and promoting the sport as a whole. When she wins, she's gracious. When she loses, she takes full responsibility. That raw authenticity resonates powerfully with fans, and clearly, it resonates with the decision-makers at Team USA. Wilson, on the other hand, has made almost everything about herself. Her posts are centered on her achievements, her recognition, her status. When things don't go her way, there's always an excuse to be made or someone else to blame. That kind of approach might work for a while when you're dominating, but it becomes a massive liability when someone else starts getting more attention. And the commercial aspect of this decision cannot be overstated either. Team USA exists within a business environment, just like any other major sports organization. They need sponsorships, lucrative broadcast deals, and ticket sales. Caitlin Clark delivers all of that in ways that Aya Wilson simply does not. Clark's Nike deal created genuine mainstream buzz that went far beyond the sports world. Her television appearances cause ratings to spike. Her games sell out arenas across the country. Her social media posts generate engagement numbers that most professional sports franchises would kill for. When international broadcasters are sitting at the negotiating table for the rights to Team USA games, you better believe they're going to pay a premium if Caitlin Clark is on that roster. That's just simple economic reality. Forbes even recognized Clark's massive business impact by including her on their prestigious 30 under 30 list. That recognition didn't just come because she's a great basketball player. It came because Clark transcends her sport. She is a cultural phenomenon who actively drives consumer behavior across multiple industries. Wilson has never achieved that kind of crossover appeal. She is an amazing basketball player who is good at basketball. Clark is a cultural force who also happens to play basketball. There is a monumental difference between those two things, and Team USA clearly understands which one serves their long-term interests better. Even Clark's crossover into the world of golf has been genuinely remarkable. The LPGA Tour has embraced her. Professional golfers are lining up to play with her. Golf brands want to sponsor her. She is bringing basketball fans to golf tournaments and, in turn, bringing golf fans to basketball games. That is the kind of multi-sport influence that expands everyone's audience and grows the entire pot. Wilson has never generated that kind of interest in any sport outside of basketball. Her appeal is one-dimensional, and that ultimately limits her value to organizations that are trying to expand their reach. The viewing numbers simply do not lie. Clark's games consistently drew significantly higher ratings than any other player in the WNBA. Streaming services reported subscription spikes on the nights her team played. Road arenas that would normally be half empty were completely sold out when Clark and the Fever came to town. Local businesses located near those visiting arenas reported increased revenue on Clark game days. She literally created economic activity wherever she went. Wilson's games draw solid, respectable numbers, but they have never created the same kind of economic tidal wave or cultural moment that Clark's appearances generate.So now. Aya Wilson has to sit at home and watch Caitlin Clark prepare for the very opportunities that define international basketball careers. The 2026 World Cup offers Clark a chance to showcase her unbelievable skills against the best players from every single continent. The 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles will be played in front of roaring home crowds, who will absolutely lose their minds watching Clark lead Team USA. These are the moments that transform great players into immortal legends. These are the stages that athletes dream about for their entire careers, and Caitlin Clark gets to experience them all while Aya Wilson watches from her television. The very construction of this camp roster suggests that Team USA is building its entire future around Clark for the long term. They are surrounding her with exceptional young talent who can grow alongside her over the next Olympic cycle. They are building chemistry right now that will pay massive dividends for years and years to come. This isn't just about one tournament or one single competition. This is about establishing the foundation for Team USA's next dynasty, and Caitlin Clark is the cornerstone of that foundation, not Aya Wilson, after all this time. Wilson's months of jealous behavior and petty social media campaigns have completely and spectacularly backfired. Every single attempt she made to diminish Clark's accomplishments only served to highlight her own insecurity. Every cryptic post only made her look more desperate for attention. Every claim she made about her own success only emphasized how much further ahead Clark already is in terms of genuine impact and influence. Wilson tried to tear Caitlin Clark down, and in the end, she only succeeded in exposing her own weakness. The coaching staff at this camp will be evaluating every single aspect of these players' games, their skills, their leadership, their coachability, their chemistry with their teammates, and their ability to handle immense pressure. Clark is going to excel in every single one of those areas because she's been doing it at the highest level since she was in college. She knows how to perform when the entire world is watching. She knows how to make her teammates better, and she knows how to represent the sport with class and professionalism. Those qualities matter just as much as points per game or rebounds when Team USA sits down to make their final roster decisions.So. There you have it. Aya Wilson spent months trying to convince the world she's on Caitlin Clark's level. And Team USA just answered that question definitively for everyone. So, what do you think? Was this decision fair, or did Aya Wilson get snubbed? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you want more coverage of all this unfolding drama, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next.